What is going on, man? My name is Trey. I go by Tre.Trades, and I guess it's really just like my introduction to YouTube. I've been saying for a minute how I was gonna start a YouTube channel. I just haven't did it, just really because I really feel like I needed to at that point in time. But like I feel like now is as good as time as any to just go ahead and get on YouTube with it, and that way I can at least provide a little bit more value to people who like watching this type of content. I guess it's kind of the same thing like with TikTok. If you follow me or you watching me right now, you probably came from TikTok. I started TikTok, not started TikTok, but I hopped on TikTok making trading videos probably like last year around like August or something like that. And then when I started that, basically when I originally started, it was me trying to take $100 to $1,000 on my forex account. So I wasn't even trading futures at that time. Which, by the way, I do trade futures. Primarily, I just trade NQ. But at that time, I was just trading like NAS and like I think like UJ or something like that, right? And trying to take $100 to $1,000 really didn't work out for real. And that was simply because I found out about futures and I decided to make the switch just because everybody else was doing it, hearing about it being regulated, this, that, and the third. And then I was like, oh man, we can do prop firms, and I would be able to put $50 to a prop firm versus throwing like 50 to $100 into a live account and then blowing that instantly. So I figured that like the risk to reward would make more sense. So I switched to futures. I did that. I think I bought my first Top Step account September 3rd of last year. So I was posting content in August, switched to futures, and then by December, that's when I got my first payout ever from trading. That was my first profit that I made for real. Since then, I've made quite a bit. Not quite a bit of money, I would say, probably like just a decent amount or whatever. Like I can tell you just what from last month in June, I made right around $7,000 in payouts. The month before that, I didn't really make too much. It was around like 1,100, 1,200. Maybe it was a slow month. April, I think I made somewhere around 5,500, and then March was like 3,500 or something like that. So on, so on, right? So just up from that point, or looking over the last few months, um, yeah, really with this page is I'm just gonna be posting daily content, or every other day whenever I got free time. I guess just post some content, give value and whatnot, and just show y'all like what trading looks like for me. I can actually give you a video that's not like edited down for TikTok just because I can't post long videos on there. So yeah, I posted the trading video from today being July 2nd on my TikTok. It was a condensed version of that, so I don't really have a trading video to post on here for today. But I guess what I can do, since it's being the first video, I'll probably just go over how I mark up my chart and everything and what I'm looking for whenever I'm taking trades. So like just kind of like not like a full strategy breakdown, but just like what I trade and how I trade, I guess in a nutshell, and really just show you like how my charts will look. Because usually whenever I hop on in the morning for my trading session, I hop on probably like 15, 20 minutes before the market open, and I just quickly mark up my charts. And then by the time I start recording, it's like right before market open, so you don't really get to see all of that. So I kind of just go over that now, I guess. So this is going to be an NQ chart on Top Step that I'm looking at. When looking at the chart, whenever I come to the session in the morning, like I said, I get on the desktop at 9:15 to 9:20 a.m. and usually I'm in the trade by 9:30. So I really only give myself about 10 minutes or so, just because I've been doing it for a little bit of time now, and I got probably like a year and a half of trading experience. But I've been doing it long enough to where I can mark up a chart pretty quick, and then I just hop on here and I know what I'm looking for anyway. So it's like I don't need too much time, I guess. But just looking at the chart, we're gonna go over NQ, and I'm gonna show you how I mark up my charts basically. So when I hop on in the morning, I like to start at the daily. When I start at the daily, what I'm doing is I'm marking up the previous day high and previous day low. So usually when I do that, it's gonna always be indicated with a red line. That's kind of how I like to mark mine up. We'll go over the previous day high from yesterday as well, or I'll go over that trade. I guess I could do a little quick trade breakdown. But normally when I'm marking it up, it's just going to be the previous day high and the previous day low is what I'm going to mark up, because usually I'll use that as my influence, or how I come up with my prediction where price might be headed overall based off what the daily is doing. And then as far as like the draw on liquidity, for as how close we are to a previous day high or low, that'll usually give you a good indication what price is going to do after that. So usually after I mark that up, which I guess I don't need this one really, we'll just go with what I had. So I just mark out previous day high and low with red indicators. Anything with a green marking is going to be just what I use for liquidity. That is my target, basically, liquidity target. After that, I dropped down to the 4 hour. The time frames I like to use is going to be the 1 minute, 5 minute, 15, 30 hour, 4 hour in the daily. I don't really look at the weekly. I was doing it for like probably like a week or so, actually just looking at it, but then I stopped. So I haven't looked at it in a minute. I really don't look at the 30-minute time frame either, and I rarely look at the 4 hour. The primary time frames I like to look at are going to be the hourly, 15 and 5 minute, and the 1 minute. More so just for the 1 minute and 5 minute. That's what I'm actually placing entries off of. 15-minute and the hourly, those are going to give me really my like direction and what overall I'm seeing and what my draws on liquidity would be in a zoomed out format, right? So from there, like I said, looking at the 4 hour, it's not too much that I'm gonna mark up on the 4 hour. Sometimes I mark up a little bit, but I guess on the 4 hour, I will mark out this high. Then, like I said, indicated with a green line because that's going to be a target for liquidity. Then I'm dropping down to the hourly, trying to see if I can see more targets to be taken out. Like this would be a draw on liquidity right here. Looking at this low, but that's already been taken out. And then I would go to the next low, which would have been here, which I'm pretty sure I used this as one of the targets today before we had market open. But we ended up longing, so that really didn't matter for today. And I did catch those longs. Like I said, after that, I just keep dropping down 30-minute, and then I go down to the 15-minute. At this point, once I get down to like the 15-minute and the 5-minute, I'm starting to look for a London high, London low, Asian high, and Asian low as well. For me, I like to look anything from like probably 12 a.m. to like 6 a.m. Any high that's in that form or in that time range, that's what I'm going to mark out as the high overall that I'm targeting. And then for Asian sessions, it's going to be anywhere from like 7 p.m. to like 12 a.m. That's what I'm marking out, and I'm going to consider that the Asian high. I know other people consider it a little bit different, but that's just how I like to do it. It's worked for me, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. So y'all can fight y'all mama on that one. Yeah, because it's from this morning. Yeah, I want to go this morning. All right, so yeah, like I said, this is 15-minute time frame. So I would just continue to be marking out highs. So I'll probably mark this out as area for liquidity. This would already be previous day low, so I wouldn't really need to mark this out because I see that already. A lot of this stuff wasn't here today when I was trading this morning. Then I'm dropping down to the 5-minute after that. And I know for this morning, what I had marked out was right here as a level of liquidity. I like to use the base of the candle sometimes. So when I mean the base of the candle, let's get this off the screen. When I'm talking about the base of the candle, I'm talking about where we like open and close that. Like I'll use that one as opposed to the actual wick at the top. Because sometimes prices come really close to SGLTP and then actually drop and not hit that. So usually that base is going to usually hit that. Or it's better indicated that it would, a better chance I would say. So I marked this out as an area of liquidity. I did mark this. I remember that. I marked this out. It was the 736 target. And then I marked this target as well. And I marked one more target for highs. All right, so these are all the targets that I had marked out. All these targets did get hit today in session. I think I was done after I took 2 trades somewhere in here. I took this trade. I ended up making, I think, around like $1,000 on this trade across the combines. And then I took another long somewhere up in here and we hit another target. I was not here for these targets, but they did get taken out. And I did have some targets to sell side as well. I think I went to the 15-minute. Look at those. Yeah, I had targets for sell side. I remember this was a target right here. And then these targets were already marked out as well. But we didn't end up selling off at all, so it really didn't matter. So I don't really need those on there anyway. All right, and then after that, right, so once I marked out my targets for liquidity, what I like to do after that is start to mark out my swing highs and swing lows where I can see breakouts. For me, I trade breakouts and I trade the rejection off the 13 EMA. One of the trades that I took today was kind of like a mixture of both, but more so rejection off the 13 EMA. So I'm going to mark them out. Usually what I do is I indicate it with a blue rectangle box. Then I have the dot line in the middle just to indicate that's my midline. I use that for, I'll get into that in another video as far as like how specifically I like to use it. But usually I'm just going to be marking these out, these different areas where price is built structure around, and show you with the trades, right? So, and I think I had another one. I had 4. I remember I had 4 boxes this morning. And I had one down here just in case we got down to this point. So this right here is going to be the 9:30 New York opening candle. I did end up taking a long right here once we broke this area. And I like to use limit orders. So the way I have mine set is I have a limit order set literally at the top of this box. So once it breaks, it immediately tap me into the trade. And I'm generally going to be using anywhere from a 12 to a 25 point stop. Those are the only 2 that I like to use, so 12 or 25. I usually don't use anything in the middle of that. If I'm using a 12-point stop, I'm trading one mini usually, or I'm just trading minis in general, I guess. And then if I'm using 25-point stop, then most likely I'm probably trading micros. For the 25-point stop, I'm trading 5 micros. For 12-point stop, I'm usually trading 1 and 2 minis. Sometimes I trade more, just depending on what I'm seeing. I did add on to this trade this morning that I took. So I was trading 3 minis on this trade, I think. But yeah, the first trade I did take, I ended up getting stopped out at break even, and then I ended up taking another trade once we got up to this level and we broke through. It tapped me in prematurely, I guess, and then it was a fake out, so I ended up getting stopped out of this trade. And then basically what happens, I waited for us to break through. We came back, and I saw us reject off the 13. If I go to the 1 minute, so I think that was right around here. Yep. So this right here is going to be the candle that I actually entered off of this morning for the first trade that I took for profit. What ended up happening was once I seen that we broke through this level right here and we came up, we started rejecting off of this next level in this swing high that was up here. But I seen that we still had targets to the upside, and momentum and price is telling me that we are pushed to the upside. So once we end up coming down, what I like to do is like try to get a really good entry off the 13 EMA rejection. As you can see, this red line is going to be the 13 EMA. I have the white line indicating the 200 EMA, and then I have the blue line indicating the 50 EMA. Those are the 3 EMAs I like to use because price tends to bounce off of those. So I use that as confluence for entering and exiting trades that I take, right? So what happened was price started to come down, and I seen that we had the 13 coming up. So that let me know that if we was already bullish, likely price was going to give us a retracement back to this area, and then we will end up pushing back up. So basically something like a bounce, right? So just a break and retest simply whenever we're using breakouts. So once we got into this area, I kind of got in a little premature. I just like to trail the candle down for my entry using a limit order. So that's what I did. Got tapped into this trade. As soon as I got tapped in, price that came down a little bit more, created the wick, or it already created a wick, I believe. And once it started coming up and it tapped me back in, my stops immediately go to the end of the wick. Because at that point, if price is to come back down and break this wick or continue filling out this wick, I don't want to be a part of that trade anymore anyway, because likely price will continue to flood. But price did not. We ended up getting a nice push up, had a large momentum candle that came in right after that. And I was just basically trailing this trade up as it went. And then I got stopped out in profit right around here. I had my target, my full TP set up somewhere up in this area, I believe, for around like $2,000 because I had lost the first trade that I had took when I had tried to get in right here that I talked about, and it came down and got me out of the trade. So I had a TP for like $2,000 set up in this area. Ended up getting stopped out somewhere like over around 1 to 2 for this trade. So I think I was risking somewhere around like, I think it was a 12-point stop is what I was using because I started with too many, so it had to be like a 12-point stop. But basically, I stopped out in profit at a 1 to 2, and then I was cool with that, right? And then I took another long position somewhere in this area. I can't remember exactly. I have to go watch the video again. But I took another long position, ended up making a little bit more money. Yeah, I think it was right here because I remember I set this like this. When I'm on a 1 minute, usually I won't use a blue box. I will use a green one. I just color code things because I feel like it helps me, keeps me organized and everything, right? And I know what I'm looking at when I'm switching between time frames. So that's also why I use different color rays for like liquidity. I use the yellow line if I'm looking at a candle that doesn't have a wick that hasn't been filled yet. Things of that nature, which in future videos I break that down more. But yeah, once we had broke this, I was pretty confident in the trade that I had got in because I used another 13 EMA rejection entry. And we end up rejecting off 13 EMA and start pushing up again. The entry looks something like this, if I'm not mistaken. And I end up getting stopped out in profit. I think right around here, this candle ended up coming down, stopping me out in profit or something like that. And at that point, I think I made $1,000 on that account as well because I did not copy trade that account. So after that, I was done. It was cool. Wasn't tripping no more. And I took my dubs for the day. I do have 3 Top Step accounts, 3 combines. I have 2 funded accounts as well, but those accounts are pretty much cooked. So I got to get those accounts out the gutter. But I do have 3 combines right now that I am trading. This one has like $700 left, and then I'll pass. And then I have another one. I did take a little small L during Asia sets because I was playing around trying to do something with this breakout that I saw. And then I also have this account as well. These less than $1,000 pass. I do have a take profit trader account, and then I have a my funded futures account. I seen that they had a promo going off for half off, so I decided to buy my funded futures account. And then take profit trader, it did just renew without me even realizing it. So it's like, all right, cool. I just go ahead and trade the account now since I got it right. Yeah, I'm looking to get all these accounts passed probably by like Wednesday or next week. I think for take profit trader, you gotta have at least 5 days. So tomorrow will count as a day because I'm gonna trade it tomorrow. Friday, I think it's gonna be a half day and it's a holiday. I'm not gonna lie, I trade holidays. That's just how I am. If the setup's there, I'm gonna take the setup. And usually I actually end up winning on the holidays. But yeah, we have what? That's 2 days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, so that'd be 5 days for right around like Wednesday and Thursday or whatever, right? For me to end up passing the accounts and being funded with just different prop firms, I guess. Usually the only prop firms that I've actually used for real are going to be these three, but the ones that I've been funded simultaneously on have been Top Step and My Funded Futures. I've been funded with Take Profit Trader once, but it was very briefly. So I didn't get a payout from that account, but this account I am going to pass it and I'm going to get a payout. And I will document all that and I will show all that the process or whatever, right? So really, yeah, that's pretty much like it in a nutshell for this video, I guess. And I'll continue to post content. Just basically just be on the lookout for future videos. It's just gonna be daily content. I guess the trades that I take, whatever I post on TikTok, likely I'll just end up posting on here as well. And yeah, if there's any suggestions that you guys want to see or anything y'all want to like see from me, like I don't know, I wouldn't say in my daily life posts, but because I don't really do anything, I'm pretty boring, bro. After I trade, I just spend time with my daughter and I just chill, bro. I'm probably about to go work out right now. That's like it. I don't do anything on my day. But is there anything else y'all want to see? Let me know, and then I will be more than obliged to make a video on it. So until next time, man, that's it. That's all I got on A Better Living.